Obedience training. One of the many things I enjoy about taking a day off or around the holiday times or on weekends is having the luxury of a little bit more time to take much longer and more leisurely walks with our little dog, Elsie. One of the commonalities between my country of birth, England, and my country of now residence, the United States, is we're both nations of dog lovers. Elsie is a mutt. She's a mix between a Dachshund and a Terrier. She's such a cutie who is so much fun and a great little character. My wife has even trained Elsie to ring a bell that hangs at the back patio door when she needs to do her business. Just the other evening, I was walking Elsie around our neighbourhood, and as I commonly do, she wasn't on a leash. Please don't report me to the Homeowners Association, or worse still, to City Council, but I've found when walking our block, Elsie will just stick by my side. If I walk, she walks. If I stop, she stops. If I stop to say hello and chat with a fellow dog walker, Elsie will do the same. I lead and she follows. My wife and I have often observed that aggressive and unfriendly dogs seem to have aggressive and unfriendly owners. Conversely, well-mannered dogs seem to have friendly owners. We've also noticed that owners who talk negative of their dogs seem to have negative and nasty dogs. If we don't know a dog in the neighbourhood, we'll often give them a heads up as Elsie bounds towards them. We'll say things like, she's super friendly. Sadly, it's not uncommon to see some people yank up their dogs, telling us theirs is not good with other dogs, or he or she doesn't like dogs she doesn't know, or the worst we've heard, which was she hates all other dogs. Well, fair enough. Our neighbours are always astounded when we tell them Elsie has never been to any form of obedience training. We just walk her very often. We feed her well, but not too much or too little. We love on her a lot and ensure she gets a good night's sleep, as she actually sleeps in her own crate upstairs. This all got me thinking about the workplace and the vitally important role that leaders have. I wonder whether workplaces would be much better neighbourhoods if all leaders were worth following. Elsie is obedient to us because she trusts us. We have rarely hear the word obedience in today's workplaces. It sounds so dictatorial, dominant, and doesn't appeal to our own self-directed compass. However, I'm sure we can agree we're more likely to do what we need to do if we're working with a leader we trust. We follow their lead, we're more open to their directions. Early on in my career, I worked for a leader called Mr. Bold. He was a retired captain of the British Army and was our managing director. His name suited him well. He was bold and forthright. He knew what he needed from me. He rarely asked my opinion, but when he did, he listened really well. And he actually spoke very few words. Mr. Bold gave clear and decisive instructions as if he was leading us into battle. He was a gentleman. I always knew where I stood with Mr. Bold. He was consistent and insistent that we enjoyed family time together, and he never disturbed me on my weekends or evenings. When my wife gave birth to our first child, Brody, he was the only colleague who sent a beautiful basket of flowers and some household goodies for my wife. I was obedient to his lead. He got the best out of me. Interestingly, as I reflect back, I treated my direct reports, colleagues and vendors just as Mr. Bold treated me, respectfully, positively, clearly, decisively and always honourably, even when tough decisions were to be made. The reason we call dogs man's best friend, I think there's a reason for that. We can learn so many things from a dog's behaviour, personality, demeanour, resiliency, and most importantly, the willingness to provide their family members with unconditional love, loyalty and companionship down to their very last breath. Organisations all over the world talk about employee engagement and will spend a countless amount of human resource hours worrying and strategizing on how to win talent or retain talent or to minimise attrition, which is when more employees are leaving than new ones are starting, and hence positions remain unfilled and teams unstaffed. If only we look more towards the simple life lessons around us. For example, what I've learned from Elsie and Mr. Bold, I'm confident we would have more employee engagement and much friendly neighbourhoods.